What is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another edition of On the Road to Victory. I am your host, Jimmy Smith, and I hope you're all having yourselves a fantastic night. It has been one hell of a long day for me. I cannot believe it's finally over. Friday is tomorrow, so glorious day it is. But right now, it's Thursday night, so that means the top 13 matchups between the Eagles and their Week 10 opponent, the Dallas Cowboys. So, been keeping you up to date on all the information you need to know about the Cowboys, the Eagles. But in this show, you've got all of that and then some. So, we'll look at the stats, their rankings, standings. Then we'll look at the injury update for both teams, look at the depth chart, injury lists, and the practice squad for both teams. And then you will get the top matchups. You can decide for yourself before we even get there who your top matchup is. You can let me know down below. Would love to hear from you. Not live, but always down to talk some birds with you. Appreciate you guys hitting that like button, sharing this stuff, subscribing, all that you do. Seriously, I cannot thank you enough for the support. And, YouTube and everybody else doing all they can to bring this thing down, and we're not going to allow it to happen. So if you want to support, right there is the PayPal, all that great stuff. They demonetized me, so can't make money off of these, but I do appreciate your guys' support. Don't feel that you have to do anything, but I appreciate those of you who do. Now let's jump right into this. Let's get into these top matchups tonight. And, well, first, let's give you that information you need to know. How are both teams doing right now? So the Philadelphia Eagles, I keep trying to tell the media, the casual fans, stop sleeping on this team. Stop trying to fire Nick Sirianni, trade Hurts, fire Howie, all that bullshit. No one cares what the media has to say. We're 11th in points, 6th in total yardage, 2nd in running, 20th in passing because we don't really need to. We're whooping everyone's ass right now. 23rd in sacks, tied for 11th in turning the ball over there. So giving up some sacks, but as of late, doing better there. Keep continuing to clean up the turnovers, the sacks, the stupid things that you're shooting yourself in the foot, beating yourself. On defense, people can keep saying they want to fire Vic Fangio. This defense sucks. I'm going to keep laughing in their face. 9th in points, 3rd in total yardage, 5th against the run, 7th against the pass, 11th in sacks, 24th in turnovers. So we talked about last week, I need to see some turnovers. We got those turnovers. Let's get some more. Let's keep doing that. The defense will continue to improve. I do promise you that. And you've got a team like the Cowboys right here who is struggling. So we know the Jags were struggling last week. Apparently I'm struggling to talk, but they obviously had a close game there. So can't shoot yourself in the foot. You should be able to beat up a team like the Cowboys. 20th in points, 14th in total yardage, 31st in rushing, 2nd in passing, but, well, their quarterback, Dak Prescott, won't be there. Tied for 20th in sacks and tied for 27th in turnovers. You see that's because they're tied for 30th in interceptions from Dak Prescott. Then you see on the defensive side of the ball, 31st in points, 27th in total yardage, 30th against the run, run the damn ball, 18th against the pass, tied for 21st in sacks, tied for 29th in turnovers. Not doing too great. They've been struggling, but hey, that's going to be a hungry team looking to fight. They're pissed off, sitting there, 3-5 and 3rd in the NFC East. You see the Eagles looking to jump the Commanders here, and they've got the Steelers coming up, and then of course next week on Thursday it will be the Eagles and Commanders. So we'll get our chance to try to get this division in our hands. But right now, we just have to keep focusing one week at a time what we can do. And you see right now, the last couple of weeks, we've been in that wild card spot, number 6. We were in 7. Now we're moving up. Let's move up into number 2 and then eventually take number 1. Number 1 seed in the NFC and winning the Super Bowl is something I have predicted and stayed true to. And unlike every other content creator or media person, I have not once jumped ship, flip-flopped, done anything like that where the season's over, all this nonsense we had to hear at the beginning of the season. So I expect them all to be on board. I saw Emmanuel Lacho. A lot of these casual media members have all of a sudden started repeating my Super Bowl prediction, and it's beautiful to see. You remember when I predicted that they would all talk their shit, and then they would all have to bend the knee? Well, it's happening right now. So, oh boy, they better jump on board quick, because another thing I talked about, when we get healthier, we're going to be even better. So remember, this list was huge yesterday. Well, I told you Barkley and Hurts were resting. I see a lot of articles, Hurts is sitting out this game. Barkley's traded. A lot of that really dumb shit that people love. I don't understand it, but they're all full participants here. So right there, that's key. Dallas Goedert coming back. Just helping push the pile on the tush push. Little things. I mean, you know what he does with his offense. So Calcaterra did serviceable, but we got Dallas Goedert back. Now, I told you, don't freak out about these long lists. It was a walkthrough yesterday. And as you can see, only one person did not change on this list right here. So Fred Johnson still limited. You see that Van Sumeren, Nolan Smith, and Devontae Smith all were DNPs yesterday. All three were limited today. Then everyone else was a full participant. So I've seen the articles. I've seen people freaking out. Season's over. All these guys are out. They're not. Literally 4 players right now are banged up in Devontae Smith, Nolan Smith, Ben Van Sumeren, Fred Johnson. We will keep our eyes on those guys. But again, tomorrow's the game status report. You'll know who's questionable, who's out. No reason to freak out. Now, you can see here, they only had one change, and that's Eric Kendricks, who is now limited, which is a great addition for them this offseason, and he's been doing pretty good this year. So definitely going to need him this week. So that's great news for them. You can see Bland still did not practice. Zach Martin, Dak Prescott, Wanya Thomas, Nick Vigil, all out for practice still. So not great. Missing your guard, your quarterback, one of your cornerbacks. So, not great. Trevon Diggs is limited. Their left tackle, Guyton, limited. Lamb, Parsons, limited. Carson and Joseph, full participants again. So you see what's going on with the injuries with these guys. Now let's take a look at the depth charts of both of these teams so you can get a look, make a decision for yourself who you think the top matchups are. But let me show you the practice squad lists and the injury list just so you know these are players that can be elevated for the game. Here is the Eagles practice squad. If you're looking to find out about their newest addition, linebacker Dallas Gant, you can go check that video out the other day, but that is the full practice squad. Here is their IR. You know they got rid of Albert O. A lot of people have been asking, why would you cut a player that's not good? Well, he's not good, so that's why he's gone. So you got Bradbury, Clark, Covey, Mailata, Byron Young there on IR. Now let's take a look at this. Holy hell, Herschel. I do apologize for that. Herschel losing his mind. I do believe the beautiful Chelsea is home. But you can see the offense getting Goddard back. Let's effing go. If Fred Johnson's out, that sucks. Mailata is eligible to come back next week. That'll be great. But Driscoll, Kennard, somebody's going to have to step it up. But I think Tyler Steen would be your choice at left tackle. Used to play in college at left tackle at Alabama. So whatever needs to happen, next man up. But I think Fred will be all right. We'll talk about that tomorrow with the game status report. Defense, everybody, you've got some limited, some full participants, but right now, looking like everybody's going to be good to go there, and that's an oh, hell yeah from me. Special teams department, everybody good there. I would like to start seeing Anais Smith used as a punt returner, maybe even a kick returner. No more Cooper DeJean. Love the dude, but don't like him being put in harm's way. Now let's take a look at the Cowboys here. You can see added Andrew Booth back to their practice squad, changed that around, but got Dalvin Cook, probably be elevated again because Ezekiel Elliott sucks. But you can see that is the Cowboys practice squad. Here is their IR. And I took off Deron Bland because I didn't realize he was actually off there. He's just not practicing. So I still had him on my list, but just so you know, he is on the active roster. Now, Dak Prescott, we know he's out. So it's going to be Cooper Rush. Maybe Trey Lance gets a little play here, but I mentioned Dalvin Cook for the running backs. Zeke sucks. Rico Dowdle was sick last week. They didn't even use Deuce Vaughn. Hunter Lepke is a fullback, so we'll see what they decide to do there. But you got Brooks and Tolbert. No Brandon Cooks. He's on IR. They just traded for Jonathan Mingo, so he's going to try to step it up there in the couple days he's had. And then, of course, CeeDee Lamb, Jake Ferguson, two of their top weapons we will have to watch out for. Then you've got Guyton, Smith, Beebe, Martin, and Steele there on the offensive line. And then on the defensive side of the ball, looks like Micah Parsons will be back this week. Deron Bland could be playing. I will, again, keep you up to date with that stuff tomorrow. And then in the special teams department, everyone good to go there. So you see who's going to be there, who is possibly not going to be there. But again, tomorrow, game status report, you'll know who's out, questionable, keep you up to date with an updated depth chart, all that. But now you see what the teams look like, where some of these players are. If they're not on the depth chart, maybe they're on the practice squad, the IR. Now you know. Love to hear your thoughts so far, but let's jump right into this with the top 13 matchups. And I've got a little honorable mention in there as well. So let's run through it. Love to hear your thoughts on it. But you know how this goes. We start with either the offense, defense, and then I dabble special teams in here somewhere. But today we're going to start with the special teams. Kenny Gainwell, Cooper DeJean, our returners, maybe a little bit of Shipley in there, maybe a little Isaiah Rodgers. They use Kayvonte Turpin, and this kid, he is a stud. So watch the hell out. Remember last year, I warned about him, and the kid was going off. So let's shut him down. Nothing special in the return game going on, but I'd like to see the Eagles get a big return here this week. That would be fantastic. We talk about offense, defense, special teams, all three phases of the game. And last week we talked about special teams stepping it up. And like the first punt of the game, Sidney Brown laying that hit, baby. Ringo getting the recovery. Loved it. Now let's start it off with the Cowboys offense, Eagles defense here. Cooper Rush. I would have much preferred to see Dak Prescott because now they'll have their little excuses, even though Dak sucks ass. Almost had 2,000 yards, and he's got a 64.7 completion percentage. But Cooper Rush, he's got a 56.4 completion percentage. Not great. So, look, this is clearly not Dak Prescott. This dude's only got one touchdown, one interception in the 4 games he has played. He's attempted 39 passes, 22 completions. So not much work. We know who he is. We know what this Eagles defense is, though. And they are already a one-dimensional team. So just make them even more one-dimensional. They're going to try to have to run the ball with it not being Dak Prescott there. But I just feel that this Eagles defense should be able to step it up, shut down Cooper Rush, and be able to, obviously hold them. Hell, man, hold them under 10 points. And I will be a happy man. Now, we talk about them trying to run the ball. They have not been able to do that this year. 321 yards for Dowdle, 149 for Elliott. Now, Dowdle's got a 4.5 yard per carry average, 3.1 for Ezekiel Elliott. Dalvin Cook has 8 carries for 20 yards. That's a 2.5 yard per carry. That's not great. So, whatever you want to bring in, we've got Dean and Bond, the best linebacker doing the game. And I know a lot of people were pissed at me this offseason for saying I really like these guys, but I'm telling you, people will be big fans of these guys soon enough. And I think if they're watching the games, they should already become the biggest fans ever because these dudes, they are whooping ass, and they're about to do that this week, and I cannot wait to see it. Now, number 10, we've got their tackles, Tyler Guyton, the rookie, Terrence Steele. And look, Nolan Smith been really whooping some ass. You got Josh Sweat here, Brandon Graham. Bryce Huff apparently dealing with an injury or whatever's going on with him. But these guys are doing much better. So whatever you got, and I've talked about Jalix Hunt, obviously, before the draft, how much I like him. But I also mentioned in that time, stay patient with his development. He will get his chance. And when he does, the kid will shine, whether that is at the end of the year with limited snaps or, next year. Just stay patient. The kid's got a bright future. But this pass rush, no reason we should struggle with a team that obviously couldn't even block for Dak. Let's get to the quarterback, put him in the dirt. And we're going to need those big boys in the middle to cause some havoc here. We'll see if Zach Martin's even playing. They got their rookie Cooper Beebe there in the center. Best of luck to you, Tyler Smith and company, because, well, we've got Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Milton Williams, and a Jomo Booker. They'll come get some too. So this defense, I really feel I'm very confident is a top 3 defense. I've said it since before the season started. Just be patient, and you'll see. I think they're going to dominate these guys. And whether that's stopping the run, getting some pressure, opening things up for the edge guys, I think a big day, letting the linebackers come through. We're going to see some special things here, and I can't wait for it. Now, number 8, Jake Ferguson. Dude's a stud. He's a really good tight end. Banged up for a little bit, but he's got 8.8 yards per reception, 334 yards, no touchdowns. But watch out for this dude. And especially with someone like Cooper Rush, he will be trying to feed him. But with Sidney Brown back, getting more acclimated on special teams into the defense, he is that Swiss Army knife we talk about on the defense. Allow him to cover people, play that big dime, play all kinds of different roles. Big nickel, I'm very excited about him. Obviously, wanted him in the draft last year, so you know how I feel about Sidney Brown. But C.J. Gardner-Johnson, Blankenship, really been stepping it up and need to continue to do so. Shut down Jake Ferguson, and they're going to have themselves a tough time. Now, we know where they're going to try to go with the ball, and probably not too much Tolbert, Brooks. Mingo's at it. We'll see how much he actually plays, but come get it. We got Quinyon Mitchell, Darius Slay, Cooper DeJean, and wherever Lamb wants to line up, he can come and get it, and I cannot wait. And look, not to knock CeeDee Lamb. He's one of the best receivers there is. 4 touchdowns so far in the season. He's got a 12.5 yard per catch average. He's got 53 receptions. And look, we know how talented he is. Who cares who the quarterback is? You just got to throw it at him. The dude can catch the ball. But for me, this is where my honorable mention is. Yes, you know how much I love Quinyon Mitchell and cannot wait to see this matchup. But this right here, when CeeDee Lamb is in the slot and he's going up against Cooper DeJean. We all know Coop was my guy in this draft that we had to have. And I think people are starting to see why. And, dude, this is going to make everyone become his biggest fan. Watch. I promise you they're going to be buying his jerseys. He is going to shut this dude down. Now, I don't mean in the sense that he's not going to have any catches. I mean that he's not going to allow the big plays, not going to allow the touchdowns. Let's see that go down this Sunday. Coop, go get you some. That is my favorite matchup of this game, and I cannot wait to see it. Now let's get into the Eagles' offense going up against this Cowboys D. So, Donovan Wilson, Malik Hooker, best of luck to you. Dallas Goedert is back. Any safeties, any corners, any linebackers that are covering Goedert, you're going to get worked. He is back, and he is looking to do work against the team that he is named after. Let's effing go, Dallas Goedert. So, whoop that ass, get him the ball, and we all know what he can do with the ball in his hands, but also what he does without the ball in his hands. The blocking, the little things here. We talk about the tush push. So excited to have him back. I think he's going to be able to do some work here. And speaking of doing work, I don't give a damn if Deron Bland is back or Trevon Diggs is banged up or Jordan Lewis, whatever the hell. We got A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and, people get confused every week. Why does Jahan Dotson not have over 1,000 yards this season? He should have 2 touchdowns a game. Howie Roseman sucks. How could you not have your third receiver as your number one? Well, to try to make things simple, it's because he's the third receiver, but he's like the 6th or 7th option in this offense. So that's why he doesn't have 100 yards every game, 10 catches, all-pro bid. That just isn't reality. I know Madden players think whatever, and follow the media, but, dude, I'm telling you, what did I say last week before the game? Dotson doesn't need to have 10 catches. He needs to get that 1 or 2 catches, and he needs to make them count. And he did just that last week. So people can say he's a bust and how he sucks and whatever they want, and I'm just going to laugh in their face. So, Dotson, keep doing your thing, man. Keep learning this offense, getting acclimated here, and didn't have an offseason here, but I promise you, as the third receiver, do your part, and you'll be just fine. I think these boys are about to do some work. We've already seen, AJ and Devontae, they're banged up, but looks like they'll be ready for this game. Devontae's got 13.5 yards per catch, 19.3 yards per catch for A.J. Brown, 3 touchdowns for A.J. Devontae's got 4. Now, Devontae's played in 2 more games, so there's that, but A.J. only played for a little bit of the last game as well. So, yeah, take that all with a grain of salt, but excited for that matchup. Now, number 4, Mozzie Smith, the one they told us was better than Jalen Carter. That's too funny. Better than Jordan Davis. Hilarious. The dude's finally just playing for them. They got Odigzua there, Lindale, Joseph. Yeah, we got Dickerson, Juergens, and Mekhi Becton. So, heavyweight battle. I am looking forward to it. Want to see what this stud first-round pick of theirs has in the chamber going up against our stud offensive line. So, best of luck to you. But obviously, talking about that line, Micah Parsons coming back, that's huge. You got William Golston there. You've got Tyrus Wheat. You've got Carlos Watkins. That's great. This will be the last week you see Johnson & Johnson, hopefully, because I want Jordan Mailata back. Love Fred Johnson, been up and down, though, and he's just not Jordan Mailata. So get me Mailata back, and let's shut these guys down. Now, we know Parsons is a freak of nature, so if he is back, we're going to do all we can to protect him. And, you saw the one year, Lane was just whooping his ass. All these guys, they had a great game plan for him. Stout knows what he's doing. So let's shut this dude down and let's protect QB1 sitting here at number 2. So going up against this Cowboys defense, and I've heard it all. Jalen Hurts is a bust and he sucks. And you guys remember I was the only content creator out here. And I mean from the beginning. I don't mean once we were good. I mean before Jalen Hurts was him, he was already him to me. And we all knew I got so much hate for that. But I think people see why now. 1,774 yards passing, 322 yards rushing. He has 8 rushing touchdowns right now. Holy, 10 passing touchdowns, 4 interceptions. We know he's lost a few fumbles there, but cleaning that stuff up, he's got a 69.8 completion percentage. That's 5% higher than Dak Prescott, the world's greatest quarterback, according to the media. So, oh boy, this is going to be a tough one for them. But we need our leader to step it up, do his thing, smoke that ass, stay healthy, and we'll be just fine using those legs, the arm, avoiding pressure. I think he's got this. But the number one key here to winning this effing game, run the damn ball with Saquon Barkley. This man is 75 yards away from a 1,000-yard season in Week 10. Holy, he's got 6 rushing touchdowns, but let's not forget the dude can catch the ball as well. He has 7.3 yards per catch. He's got 2 reception touchdowns so far. We know who Saquon Barkley is, dude, and the world is finding out. 5.9 yards per carry right now. That's pretty effing amazing. So run that ball right down their effing throats, something they have struggled with against the run. Now, I mentioned they added Eric Kendricks, and I really like that addition. I think he is a great pickup for them. He leads the team in tackles with 70. He's got a couple sacks, a couple tackles for a loss, a couple passes deflected, an interception, 2 forced fumbles. Eric Kendricks is still a player, man. He can still play. I like Demarion Overshone, the kid from Texas we talked about a couple years ago in the draft. And you talk about Leafau from Notre Dame, the kid, the linebacker we talked about this offseason. I think they've got a decent room here. And, they've got something to build on. But we've got Saquon Barkley. So all the other things we talked about, allowing Jalen Hurts to still keep them, respect Jalen Hurts, not just stack the box here. But even if you do stack the box, it's Saquon Barkley, and he's going to run all over you. So let me know how you're feeling, ladies and gentlemen. But that is my top 13, 14, whatever the hell, matchups there for the Eagles and Cowboys Week 10 matchup. Love to hear your top matchup, your top 5, top 3, top 27, whatever's on your mind. I'd love to hear from you. You have any questions, any comments, throw them down below. But that's all I've got for you. If you enjoyed this video, do me a favor, hit that like button, share this, subscribe to the channel, join the family. All that stuff really, really does count. And I can't thank you enough for it. Again, if you guys want to give to the PayPal, the Venmo, whatever the hell it is, there it is down there. YouTube won't let me monetize anymore because people steal my content and I don't do anything about it. So weirdos. I saw someone else was upset that I said I stand for quality yesterday. I saw that you were trolling me and reporting my content. I will find you and we'll have a good time. But look, stop trolling me. Stop having that small dick energy. Try to grow some balls. Be a man, be a woman, whatever you are in life. Whatever you want to be, who cares? Go ahead and figure it out. Stop worrying about how the Eagles are about to beat the shit out of everyone, and you were wrong. It's not my fault. I do my best to educate while you hate. That's just what I do. But all of you who are true sickos, I love you. And if you need anything, doesn't have to be about the birds, please feel free to reach out. I am always here for you guys, as you are for me. But until tomorrow, which is the game status report, who's out, who's questionable, then we'll be live for Fan Friday. Saturday, you'll get the practice squad elevations. Until then, I'm Jimmy Smith, and this is On the Road to Victory. You all stay safe out there, and as always, go Birds! Dallas sucks.